See what
Okay.
happens.
Well, it to be in a different language.
Probably will be. It'll probably be something completely difficult like Mandarin. And we'll be
Yes,
like,
exactly.
well, we
Hmm.
tried.
Yeah. Oh well, this will appeal to some audiences.
There you go. Like, oh, we're a hit in China. Woohoo. We did it.
Exactly. Yeah, look at us go.
All right. So, the good thing is that this is not going to be like our official, like, final go live. This is just a good kind of practice run and help us refine everything. And then I think if we do it again next week, I think we have 2 more weeks before we launch, right? Because we're going to launch on Halloween, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so let me look at my calendar because I'm slow. Okay, so Halloween is on a Thursday, which is awesome. So we have 2 more takes before we go live, or like 2 more times to like refine and tweak or whatever. So awesome, cool. All right, well, without further ado, here we go. Uh, do we do like 3, 2, 1? Like,
Yeah. Like what? Hold on 1 second. Let me just get her bone
yeah,
because otherwise she's gonna bite me in a
that's what he
loving
said.
way. But yeah, hold on 1 second. Oh, where is your bone? Okay. Are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay. Sorry, I dropped my computer. Sorry about that.
You're fine. I am here and you are there.
I am there and here. Okay, I'm
There.
ready.
Woohoo! All right. Um, 3, 2, 1, go. No. Um, so I, this is gonna be super goofy, but it's okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, interwebs. How are you? Uh, so
We are
welcome
on our
to
computers.
yes, we are both computering and also teamsing with recording. Fun with teams, yay!
Yep, we are
so,
teams challenged.
so okay, seriously, welcome to Feast, Famine, and Freelancing. Oh my God, I can't believe I almost forgot the order of that. Shocking, right? So anyway, why are we here, right? So maybe I'll first say, hi, my name is Nicole. Um, I am one half of a very dynamic duo that now comprises of Feast, Famine, and Freelancing. I'm going to have to say that several times so I can remember. Um, and I have my awesome, beautiful co host on the other side of the country. No, that's not true. She's only several hours away. But
It feels that way though.
it does sometimes. So I have my co host on the other side. Hold on a second. Did I wake you up? Okay, good. We might leave that in. That just makes it authentic. Um,
It's so funny. You probably hear me yell, I'm recording. Yeah.
be quiet, guys. Okay, so yes, so I am Nicole. I'm one half of the dynamic duo that comprises Feast, Famine, and Freelancing. And I have my awesome co host who is Take It Away. Who are you,
Sam.
awesome co host?
I am Sam. The
I
other half.
am Sam. She is
Sam I
Sam.
am. Yeah.
So, yeah, so why are we here? Really quick rundown. Sam and I have respectively worked as freelancers for what seems like forever. Combined, we have, believe it or not, like half a century of experience between the two of us.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
my God. Yeah, that's so
so,
true.
and there goes the horn, like clockwork. Um, you might leave that in there as well.
You should.
Anyway, um, so yeah, we both have a combined experience of nearly half a century. We have been writers, editors. Sam is a very talented designer as well. Whoop, whoop.
Oh,
And
thanks.
we have been in the industry for a long time, and we have realized and decided that there's a lot of information and tips and tricks that we know that we want to be able to share with other people. And therefore, that is how this podcast was born. And the title It's pretty on the nose and pretty obvious if you have ever been a freelancer, feast, famine, and freelancing, because when you're freelance, you're either in feast or famine. So there's either going to
Yeah.
be a dearth of work. I always wonder if I'm using the word in the right context. I'm going to go with it. I think it is.
I think
So
I
either
think
you've
we're
got
good.
either either you've got a
It
boatload of
reminds me
work.
of girth because I'm like, oh.
There you go. Ooh, that's a really good way to think about that.
Yeah, because
So
it's
either you've
kind of
got a
true. Yeah.
bunch of work, which is in the feast period, or you're struggling to find work, which is the famine period. So you're either hoarding all of your assignments, your earnings for the upcoming month of potential famine, or you are enjoying the high life because you've got more work than you know what to do with. But it's usually pretty cyclical, pretty up and down. And so we want to show you how to survive the wildly swinging pendulum that
The
is
roller
freelancing.
coaster. Yeah.
The wild ride that is not always fun. You're not always woohoo.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's pretty stressful.
Yeah. Nicole
Um,
came up with this idea for the podcast because we both had a extended period of famine because we,
mhm,
we have our regular jobs, but at the time we needed to supplement them, due to
exactly.
bills and life and everything like that. So we decided because we were both waiting for, I guess, after sending out resumes, waiting for responses and all that kind of stuff. So it was like this whole famine period, and then all of a sudden, boom. But then, like Nicole said, cyclical. Then all of a sudden, you're excited, and then the next month it's like nothing.
Yep, exactly. So, yes, even though we are what I consider full time freelancers, we are also full time 9 to 5ers. So, we have day
Yes.
jobs. And that's typically the nature of the beast until, of course, you make it big. And then you don't need little people like us because you've got it figured out. Um, but by and large, most of us are still trying to figure it out. We have come up with a pretty solid system, and we want to be able to share it with others who are either just starting out or have no idea what the hell is freelancing. How do I get started? There's a lot of misconceptions out there. There's an even greater number of scams, and we're here to demystify freelancing and also help you avoid the pitfalls that we have gone through ourselves. So this is not us looking down from our ivory tower. We wish, no, we don't.
Yeah, I know. We
Um,
totally wish. we,
this
you
is
know,
really, yeah, this is just us, wanting to share with you, hey, these are the things that we went through. Learn from our mistakes, and maybe you don't have to make them. Maybe do it better, come up with a better system. But definitely, we're here to help you help yourself and find really legitimate opportunities for yourself,
yeah, because
like
there's
Sam and
so
I have.
many. Yeah, like to Nicole's point, I had lost. Well, actually, I had quit a 9 to 5 job because it was just mentally straining, and I was like, let me try freelance
Preach.
for a little bit while I, you know, search for another full-time job. And I ran into a lot of scams. Um, people that would ghost you. And it was a time where I really needed the money while I was searching. It was also, of course, a time where um, hiring was like the whole job market was super slow. So it was
Yep.
just I find, and Nicole and I found like a lot of times word of mouth is like one of the best things I think, but also just we wanted to share how to avoid the scams, and because it kind of like brings down your self confidence because all of a sudden it's like I have nothing, and then
Absolutely.
yeah, and then Nicole and I worked together, and we actually got each other freelance opportunities as it resulted. But it was like a hard lesson to learn that we both shared in, and as Nicole said, wanted to save you from from the things we went
Yes.
through.
Absolutely. And I mean, we're going to do a whole episode. Yep, there goes the horn again. It's
I
just
love
co
it.
signing. So just go with it, guys.
Yeah, this
It's
is
like,
like
yeah, everything
this
they
is real
said.
time, real life. You're gonna hear my dogs in the background and my husband.
This is happening like this. This is not automated. This is not scripted. We're just background noise. That's the way of life. That's kind of the
Yep.
freelancer world. So you're welcome. Have a
Yeah.
little taste. But to Sam's point, We did both experience loss. We both experienced gains. It is up and down. And so you have to be able to bounce back. I'm not going to say resilient because I hate that word. We'll talk about that later. But what I am going to say is you have to be able to bounce back from, like, either rejection or, maybe the opportunity doesn't last as long as you thought it would. You can't just sit there and just say, oh, I'm going to wallow a little bit. Unfortunately, as a freelancer, you got to be able to, like, grind and push through whatever feelings you have to make sure you're set up for the next opportunity. So
Yeah.
that's what we're here to talk about. We hope that you'll enjoy it, maybe laugh a little because we're both goofballs and we're okay with
Mm-hmm.
that.
Oh,
Um,
there's my dogs. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, and also what
Welcome.
to Nicole's point too is don't lose confidence in yourself, even though it's going to be really hard because as Nicole and I experienced, sometimes they'll require an editorial test. You'll take it, you'll send it, and then you'll never hear from the people again. And so then you're like, oh my God,
Oh
do I
yeah.
suck? Am I like a horrible
Yep.
freelancer? Am I horrible? Don't ever ever think that.
Yeah, in fact, they suck, actually, to be clear. They suck because they don't take the time to let you know what happened. And that, but we'll get into that. We will have like little segments where we go on
Yep.
little rants and stuff. So we don't want to give too much away. This is like your preamble to all of those things. You're hearing this episode on Halloween. Whoop, whoop.
Woo woo.
It is not a trick. It is 100% a
100%
treat.
treat.
See
Yeah.
what I did there? Boom,
Yeah,
boom,
I see it. It's a frightening freelance discussion or festival or fest or whatever.
all treats, all episode long. So
Yeah.
we're excited to have you here. We hope you'll tune back in. This will be available wherever you find your podcast because that's how we roll. So it'll be on Apple, Spotify, all the fun things. And we hope you'll tune in every single TBD, but we're pretty sure it's just going to be once a week. We're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
See,
not
the
yet.
horn,
Yeah.
it's co signing again. It agrees with me. So thank you,
Yeah.
Horn. So I guess for this episode, I'm thinking, Sam, maybe we give a little bit of background about ourselves. We're not going to obviously give away the secret sauce, as in we both have active non-disclosure agreements. So you're not going to hear us say, "I work for this person and that person, and the person I work for rhymes with Bopra." We're not doing that here. Because,
Or
um,
Janssen.
yeah, we're because we would not have our contracts for very long. Freelancing often requires discretion. You will learn
Mhm.
that. You will learn that you may not be able to have the portfolio you would love to have. It's kind of like its own version of ghostwriting.
Yep.
You may be working for like the most well-known, reputable clients, but part of that is discretion. So, unfortunately, you don't get to toot your own horn as a name dropping. So, if that's what you're hoping to do, sorry to disappoint.
You can I find that you can ask like, hey, if the freelance assignment has ended, you'd be like, hey, can I add, you to my resume? But you also have to get
Absolutely.
permission because if that gets out there that they didn't give you permission to mention their name or brand, then, there could be some sort of legal issue.
Exactly. And fun fact, and Sam, correct me if I'm wrong, typically the most discreet clients have the deepest pockets. That's been
Yes,
my
yes.
experience.
Because that's what they kind of in a way like not only pay for your talent, but oh my God, I'm gonna kill my dogs. They pay for discretion. Hold on one second.
Mhm. No worries.
Okay, I have enlisted Daniel to
Excellent.
calm the
I was
beast.
going to
Sorry about that.
suggest, if not, you can always like put them to take notes if they want to do, like while we're talking, maybe they can take some notes.
Yeah, perfect. I think so. They can transcribe.
Exactly. Yeah, so exactly that. A lot of the clients that you want to actually obtain are likely those who will require the most discretion, but will also pay you your worth, which is ultimately the goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, with that said, I'm gonna flip it and put Sam on the spot so she can talk a little bit about herself and her background. And then I'm going to go on mute, except when I want a heavy cosign, I might jump back on and be like, yep, that's exactly correct.
Okay, so I'm Sam. I am old. I'm just kidding. Well, I've sort of. I have been in the editing pharmaceutical industry actually for over 25 years. And as a freelancer for about 25 years. I also work in publishing, which is kind of a newer thing. And then I also do design work on the side. Just kind of like I did ads for publishers, and I got into my field pretty much right out of college, but then started freelancing, I think heavily in the year 2000 because I had lost my job and just luckily was supported by a previous full-time employer who felt, bad of my situation and started giving me freelance work, and I freelanced for them for over 20 years. So, and then through that, I gained other clients from jobs. Like I would leave jobs and they would be like, "Oh, Sam, are you interested in freelance work?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, of course." So, and then I started to build my brand and reputation. And then as the years go by, your hourly rate increases with experience. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Like, just say you're starting out, don't always think you're just going to get this amount for the rest of your life. You have to know your worth and, base everything on that. So yeah, I actually love freelancing. I know I drive my family crazy because I do it a lot. But yeah, it's it's a lot of fun and it keeps my brain active, and especially when I have a job in pharma to do some fun stuff on the side, just kind of gives you a brain break. And so that's me.
Awesome. Thank you very much, my wonderful co host. So, a little bit about me. As I said already, my name is Nicole. I have been in the industry equally as long. I will not say the year because you guys don't need to try to figure out my age. But it has been uh, going nearly 3 decades, which is insane when you think about it. I started out actually in the writing center of the college that I attended. I was helping students with their papers, and I remember one of them kept coming back because she was getting really good grades, and she was like, Nicole, you should really charge people for this. And I'm like, in fact, I should. And um, the rest is history. I actually just, put out my little shingle, and this was back in the day when, platforms for editing and, finding clients weren't necessarily as straightforward as it is today. So there was a lot of like having to discount my rates just to get the client, not because I didn't have the experience, but because you're competing against all these other people. But we're going to get into that later. Again, that's like another tips and tricks episode that we'll talk about. So I started actually in the book editing space. So I did a lot of manuscripts. I ended up getting an internship with a local publisher and ultimately became their senior editor. And then I just kind of expanded from there, started working in peer reviewed journals as a medical editor, and realized that medical editing was where it was at from an income perspective and in terms of being a bit more lucrative. So I've worked with several pharmaceutical clients. I'm continuing to do that. And what else can I say? Yeah, I like to do a lot of different things because, like Sam said, it just keeps things interesting, helps the day go faster, so to speak. So I also do. I don't consider myself a social media manager, but I love to do things on social media. So I have quite a few, I'll say, products and brands that I manage that have done really well and continue to manage. So I do a little bit of everything, but definitely not the master of none. I definitely believe I'm like the master of all, which I think you can do if you're doing things that you love and you're
Yeah.
really good at. So that like misnomer that like jack of all trades, master of none, that's bullshit. Oh,
Yeah, oh
well,
yeah.
first curse word, woohoo!
You
Um,
can do whatever you set your mind to. And your freelancing like will give you the experience you need to move on to different roles, I think.
Exactly, and absolutely. And one, I guess, little personal fun fact that also ties into my professional life. I did live abroad for 9 years, so I am fluent in Spanish, which actually helped me land a lot of awesome contracts, a lot of opportunities. I still continue to use that and leverage that where it makes sense, but it doesn't always, because I promise you, the amount of lowballing that is
Oh
done
my
for
God. Yeah.
translation is obscene. It is something that I do if the price is right, because it requires a lot of effort and energy, and sometimes it's just not worth it. So something else to keep in mind.
Yeah, like
Um,
to your point, like don't ever be afraid, because I was for a long time, don't ever be afraid to say no.
exactly. Oh my God.
Because
Yes.
don't think like, oh my God, if I say no to this, they're never going to use me again, or that's a
Yep.
don't. Because then they'll be like, oh yeah, we're going to use her because she accepted this really low rate. No, know your worth.
Exactly. As Absolutely. You're going to hear us say that a lot because we have gone through all of those things. When you've been in the industry as long as we have, you see a lot, you hear a lot, and you learn a ton. So we're definitely going to harp on that because most often than not, the clients can't afford to pay you what you're worth. But if you're not asking for it, you're just leaving money on the table. So you
Yeah, and
can't
just
blame them.
remember, like they don't have to pay for insurance for you or anything like
Yes,
that. So, bank on that, like literally, because you're actually
absolutely.
saving them monies in a way. So,
Exactly what she said. It's totes true. So I think that's like our intro in a nutshell. Um, I can't think of, I'm sure other things will come up, but that's all I'm thinking of this morning in terms of
yeah,
introductions.
just to give
So,
us a start of, what who we are and what we do and all that good stuff.
yeah, what else do we want to talk about in this trick or treat, but only treat
Hmm.
episode?
I don't think I mentioned like as you went through. I don't think I mentioned what kind of work I do. Like, funnily enough,
Yeah, talk about it. Do it.
no, I just do like because of my design background, I review a lot of proofs, for color checks and make sure no graphics didn't fall off, um, journals, books, and just typical pharmaceutical, the suite of materials, as well as proving items for social media. I am technologically challenged, so thank God for Nicole.
Fun fact, it took us like 20 minutes to get this going,
It was my fault, so I take complete responsibility.
but it took a while to figure out, but we did it and we're here.
And we're
Woohoo!
proud. Yep, we're
We're
proud.
very proud of ourselves. So please give us a pat on the back because we will too.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so that's basically us in a nutshell. I mean, you'll probably see other things that we're into because we like to dabble. That's just how we roll. I also like writing is my jam, so I will write things that bring me joy under various pen names that I will not disclose here. Sorry, not sorry. Um, and it's just fun to use your creative brain because I don't know which one it is. It's one of the two halves. So
Well,
it's
oh,
fun to use the creative side because you can get a lot done and it'll be fun. And imagine getting paid to do something you enjoy and you find fun.
mhm. It gives you the
That's
boost.
how,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. Gives you the
exactly.
personal and financial boost.
Exactly. And then also something to think about because I know we're talking a lot about editing, design, social media, but to be clear, there is a whole wealth of things you can freelance in. So we are not at all limiting this podcast to like, if you're an editor or want to be an editor, this is for you. Not at all. Um, One fun fact that to kind of bring this point home, I used to be a transcriber and I actually transcribe news transcripts. I did that initially. I did it as a day job, and then I converted to freelancer and was contracting with the same company I worked for full time. So again, it's not if editing is not your thing, if proofreading makes you shudder or cringe, that's cool. That's just our bag. but there are so many tips that we are going to share with you on this podcast that you can translate to whatever it is that you're interested in. Like I said, I like to write. Have written multiple short stories, multiple fiction stories. Um, I have different streams of like pages on different social media platforms, and those all cater to a specific audience. So this is not about just freelancing and proofreading. I did want to like emphasize that. So don't tune away just because all like we seem to love and talk about is editing and proofreading, because that's what we love. As I mentioned, there's
Mm-hmm.
translation. I've done that. Sam is a kick-ass designer. I'm not just saying that because I love her. She's amazing. Um,
Mm,
so
not really, but
um,
thank you.
no, seriously. So there's like so many different things you could possibly do. Whatever you could think of in terms of a job that is a job that you can do. I say virtually because obviously we can't show you how to freelance if you want to be working at a restaurant. That's going to be kind of difficult. I guess that would be moonlighting. We're just talking about from the perspective of if there's like a skill set you have that you want to parlay into something that pays you money,
Yeah,
this
we
is your
can help
spot.
you with. Yep. And like to
So,
Nicole, my life, I love uh editing books and I love just editing in general. That's for me. I know everyone's different, but like for example, I thought of this as what could I do after I retire? I mean, I'm far away from that, but like what would I that would keep me happy like after I retire? And that's why I'm continuing to freelance, and my end goal is to become a librarian is my retirement goal. Yeah. But yeah,
yeah,
that's
and
that's the channel. So it's all different stuff we dabble in.
exactly. And like to Sam's point, like I'm on the opposite end. Like I started off as a book editor. So like if I never edit another book, it'll be too soon. And so, but I love to write. So my end goal is to, of course, be a best-selling author and be on tour for the rest of my life. That's what I want to do. I'm trying to
And
be up
damn
there like
straight you will, man. We will get that
yeah.
going.
I want to be, I don't necessarily want to be famous. I just want like the money that comes with fame, if that's okay. Thank you very much.
Just want to
Um,
pay my bills. Yeah.
I just want to pay my bills and go on some trips.
Yep.
So yeah, like my dream is to be a writer full time and just do what like lights me up, which is writing books, writing all sorts of things that are tied to the things that I enjoy most. And so like we have very diverging interests and like goals, but ultimately freelancing helps to fund that. The reality of it is that in today's economy, especially post COVID, trash.
Hmm.
Just trash. And so if
Very
you're
much so.
fortunate enough to have a job, one single job that covers all of your bills and then some, bless you. Good luck. You're amazing.
Yes.
The majority of us do not. That's just reality. So if you think we're on here trying to tell you like, oh, you can quit your job tomorrow because you can just freelance and like the money will fall out of the sky. Yeah, that's a lie.
Yeah.
Anyone who's telling you that is full of crap and just wants your money. We were very intentional about this podcast. You notice we are not charging for it. Doesn't mean we're not going to offer paid products. Not at all what that means. But this
Yeah.
podcast
We'll
will
think of
always,
something. Yeah.
yeah, like this podcast though, it will always be free for the foreseeable future. I'll put it that
Yeah.
way. I'm not going to like say like we promise, but definitely for the foreseeable future because we know what it is to be in feast and especially famine. So we want you to have some tools, some content you can use. So, we're going to be very realistic with you. We're not going to like try to sugarcoat things and be like, oh, yeah, freelancing is amazing. It's like rainbows and sunshine.
And
Woohoo.
puppies and cake.
Hello. Yeah, it's not true.
Cake. Yeah.
Sometimes we work very crazy hours. Sometimes you're working like 12, 14, 16-hour days on the weekend while you still have to go to your day job on Monday. That's
Yeah.
just real.
But another
Um,
thing we also want to do is provide eventually like a network where, you all can work together to find or
mhm,
recommend places to freelance or, feel comfortable enough to recommend people or, we want to have like a forum where like an
absolutely.
information exchange.
Yeah, and we are hoping down the road, once this blows up, because hello, we're amazing. Of course it will. Um, you know, we I like how you called that. That was like a slow burn.
Yeah.
But
Love it.
but the point is that we, would love to partner with organizations that are looking for freelancers because we want those opportunities and, to make those available to folks who are in need of it. We are fortunate enough to both be in a position now where we're pretty settled in terms of like our clients and all the other income streams we have going on. It may not be perfect, but I would definitely say we are in a stable, good place.
Yeah.
And so because of that, we want to now turn around and like pass the wealth to you.
Yes, and
And
help you guys get in a
exactly.
stable place. Like for me, I had to start freelancing because I had to pay alimony. So basically my regular job check went to alimony, so I lived off freelancing. So now I'm finally in a position of stability and everything. So, that's another reason we want to share our information as well to, help you get out of those financial tight spots.
Yeah, and to Sam's point, and like we said, like for both of us, what you see is what you get. We're gonna be very candid, like we're not gonna be like, oh, well, I started freelancing because of this thing that we don't have to talk about. We're gonna both be very real with you. I definitely had to start freelancing because my job of like decades plus like went away. And it went away because that job made me 100% absolutely sick, physically. And so I had to find other ways to like ratchet up freelancing to cover the shortfall. Um, and Sam was really instrumental in that. And again, not giving too much away, but that's going to be something we're going to talk about later on. Like, how do you, okay, I lost my job. Now what? There are ways that, you can. I'm not saying you're going to bounce back within 24 hours. Sometimes you can, but we're going to show you what you can do to help, so it doesn't feel so dire or it doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, I have no options. Um, you do have options. It doesn't always have to be, you have to go start driving Uber. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying there
Yeah.
are other ways that you can make money online, legitimate ways, not stuffing envelopes,
Yeah.
not taking
Legitimate ways
surveys.
utilizing,
No,
your degree and what you've worked so hard
exactly.
for.
And there's real companies like those companies that you see all the time, like on TV, on commercials, companies and brand names that that are household names. They hire people like us to do work. So they're legitimate. That they're not just going to scam you. And so we want to show you how to find those opportunities, how to present yourself or position yourself in a more appealing way so that you can land those opportunities. So there are methods to the
Oh,
madness.
Ripley agrees. Hold
Yeah, see,
on.
like Ripley's like, absolutely, Nicole, that's 100% correct and accurate. Yeah, so we're excited. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
we're very excited to
Um,
share and get to know you guys as you get to know us,
yeah,
which would be awesome. I mean, we
exactly.
can take over the world and create a huge network of freelancers.
Woohoo. And I don't know if you guys have picked up on this yet. Thought it was pretty clever when we figured it out. Feast, famine, and freelancing. F3.
Which can
Get it?
stand for so much more as well as we say F.
Like you just found out your job of 20 plus years is going away. Three
Yeah.
F's. I
What do I
wonder
do
what they could
now?
be.
Yeah, what the F? Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, and then we're gonna have merch, of course, because we're nerds and we're dorky and we think we're pretty funny. So
Sometimes,
we're
yeah.
gonna, you know what I mean? So we're gonna have merchandise available. I think especially from a freelancer's perspective, like you can appreciate where we're going with the merch. And so we're going to have things that are only going to be probably hilarious or hysterical to proofreaders and editors, but we're going to have other stuff too. And we hope that you'll support us. If nothing else, check out the podcast. Come back every week and see what we're up to, because I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
I think so too. Yes. Damn it, because we're awesome. And Ripley is looking at me like she agrees too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Ripley is like one of our biggest fans. So you're going to hear her from time to time. She's going to weigh in, like when we're
Yes.
having conversations, and she's going to be like, oh, yeah, I have a story about that. And she's going to
Yeah.
co sign.
And just
Um,
just to be clear, in case you missed it, Ripley's my One of my dogs,
Yes,
who is
yeah.
extremely likes to interact.
And she's our PA as well, so
Yes.
our production assistant. So just to
Mm-hmm.
be clear, so she'll have some thoughts and she's going to share them. She's not shy about sharing her thoughts
No, not
while
at
we're
all.
having the conversation,
Yeah, not at all.
and we're happy to do that. We are going to be relatively clean, but we may from time to time drop
Drop some
an
F
expletive.
bombs, yeah.
And we're okay with that. I hope you are too.
Yep.
We're not gonna, it's not gonna be every other word, as you saw. I only dropped one so far, which is quite impressive,
We
if I
use
do
them
say
as
so myself.
sentence enhancers, like
Um,
SpongeBob and Patrick when they
exactly.
discovered this. Yeah, the sentence
Hmm.
enhancers.
Yep, that's us right there. So, it probably won't be if you have young children who have never heard expletives before. Perhaps you listen to this with your AirPods on. Maybe,
Yes.
possibly.
We don't want to
Um,
be responsible for young children picking up words and
we do
yelling them.
not. We do not. So, full disclaimer, I will from time to time use my That's What She Said button. I do
Oh,
have one of
yes.
those. Thank you very much, courtesy of Sam. Won't use it today, probably. Um, but it's coming at some point, just to let
That's
you
what
know.
she said.
My God, that was perfect. I couldn't find it fast enough. Sometimes I don't need a button. Sometimes my button will be Sam.
Yeah.
So there you go. Um, we're happy to have you. We hope you'll keep coming back. And what are we going to talk about next week,
Hmm.
Sam?
Maybe like hourly wage, taxes, actually applying, and what to put on your resume, you think? Is that
Ooh,
too
such a
much
dirty
or?
word, taxes. Oh,
Yeah,
gross.
yeah, God, as I've learned.
Yes, let's not forget that taxes still happen. There's no such magical thing as freelancing without the taxman collecting. We're going to get into that because it's important. Um, and we have stories, both of
Oh,
us,
yeah, big ones. Yep.
on that.
Oh,
So, yeah, the teaser I will say is if you think that Uncle Sam will not come and collect,
I am
you're
the
wrong.
walking, embodiment of yes, he will collect. 10 years later, as because I'm really bad. So
100%. They
yeah,
will always find the extra
they will
money that
find
you are
you.
pocketing. They will find it, I promise. So there is no such thing as working under the table unless your employer or client also agrees to work under the table. And if they do not, guess what? One of you will be asked out and it won't be your client.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
I wish, but nope. Well, let me just be clear, it's my fault, but I would like to help you avoid that. Like,
Yes, yes, like absolutely. So there are things that are important to do if you're going to start freelancing. There are you have to be like mindful of things. So we're going to help you like walk you through that. And please tune in because we've got lots more to share and to provide. We're going to be doing giveaways as well, which we're really excited about. And yeah,
and
we don't
also,
have
if
like
you
a
have topics, please feel free to
yes,
provide us topics that you would like us to discuss or information that you
absolutely.
really, or questions that you really need answers on. As long as, if we can't answer it, we will definitely, find a way to get you that answer.
Yes, absolutely. We are on LinkedIn. So if you want to find us on LinkedIn, you can type in Feast, Famine, and Freelancing. I always pause because I'm always not sure if I'm saying in the order right. But Feast, Famine, and Freelancing. Yeah, the good comes before the bad. So that makes sense. So it's like a little
Yeah, I was just
sandwich.
gonna say, yeah, that's all right. Yep, we're good.
So yeah, find us on LinkedIn, Feast, Famine, and Freelancing. Send us a message. Let us know. Um, Also, our website will be coming soon. It is shocking, called
Yeah,
feastfamineFreelancing.com.
you'd sense the
Really easy.
theme, like we're just kidding.
Really easy. Yeah, so definitely drop us a line if you're interested in working with us. If you're a potential client who wants to work with us, we're never going to shy away from additional
No, we
opportunities.
explore
Um,
everything, and
yeah.
also, yeah, Nicole, we'll be having guests on too from the industry
Oh,
on
yeah,
like on what they
definitely.
look for and their process and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so we will definitely, this is not just going to be like what's the word? I don't know, but like this is not a vacuum. Maybe that's the right term. Like this
Yeah.
is definitely
Or
not
a
just
silo.
something.
Yep.
There it is, perfect silo. This is not just us talking to you, but we'll actually bring in other guests and experts in the field that have experience and background and can give you context from the other side, like from the client perspective. Yeah, so I think it's going to be really awesome. I think there are going to be some great tools and resources that you can use, and we're excited to share them with you. Mhm,
Oh
mhm.
yeah. Most definitely. So, yep, we hope to see you again.
There you go. And like until we figure out what our spinoff will be, we bid
Yeah.
you farewell.
Yes.
Toodaloo.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. We did it.